Alright, we're going to start naming acids, and this is the first type of compound we'll start naming. So we're going to name HCl. We know it's an acid because it starts with H, and so next we look at whether it has an O or not. It has no O, it's just HCl, so I'm going to write hydro because there's no O, no oxygen, means we have to use hydro. Next, we just name the anion and then put an ic ending and take off the ide ending. So this is Cl was chloride, and now we're going to name it chloric. So hydrochloric acid. Let's do another one. We have H2S. We look at it, we have no oxygen, so we're going to use hydro in the name. So we have hydro, look at the anion, sulfur or sulfide. Sulfide becomes sulfic, so hydrosulfuric acid. Don't forget the acid because that tells you that it starts with H. Hydrosulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid. So that's one type of acid that you'll have. Another type is whenever you have hydrogen with a polyatomic anion. So we can have H3PO4. And to name this, we have oxygen. So we're not going to use hydro. So we're just going to look at the anion, polyatomic anion, PO4, that's phosphate. So phosphate. We take the 8 and we're going to make it, look at your ion sheet, 8 goes to ic. So we're going to have phosphoric acid. Always put an acid on there. And we can do one more. We can do HNO3. We have oxygen, so we're going to not use hydro in the name. Take that out. And we look here at the NO3 polyatomic anion, that's nitrate. Nitrate goes to ic, and so we have nitric acid. Alright. And then another type of polyatomic anion we can have is the NO2. We have oxygen, so we're not going to use hydro. Cross that out. Okay, so we look at the NO2, that's nitrous, or nitrite, sorry, getting ahead of myself here. We have nitrite. Nitrite's going to go to nitrous acid. It goes to us. So that's how we name. Now we can go from the name to the formula for acids. We can have, what do I want to use? Sulfurous acid. It's an acid, so it starts with H. We don't have hydro, so we have an oxygen in the polyatomic, in the anion. So we look up sulfurous on our ion sheet. Us came from something that had ite ending on the ion sheet, so look up, it's sulfite. And sulfite is SO3 -1. So our anion or our acid is HSO3. The -1 crisscrosses with the +1, and you just have HSO3. And let's do another one. We have hydrobromic acid. Look, we have hydro. Well, first we have acid, so we write H. We have hydro, so no oxygen in the anion, so we just look at the bromic. Bromic came from bromide, so we look on our ion sheet, HBr is our acid. Bromic was from bromide, bromide is Br -1. Another one we could have is hydro nitric acid. We have hydro in the name, so that means we have no oxygen in the in the anion. So it's not a polyatomic, it's just the single atom or single anion, nitride. It's an acid, so it starts with H. Nitride, you look on your ion sheet, is N-3. And so that means we have to crisscross the charge. The -3 is going to crisscross and go down as the subscript for the hydrogen. So it's H3N. That's hydronitric acid. Different from nitric acid. Has hydro in there, meaning it's just from the nitride ion. Now if this was nitric acid, we would have H. It came from 8. HNO3. So it's the hydro can change what you have here for the acid. We have to use the hydro prefix. Alright, so that's naming and writing the formula for acids.